notice I'm not even paying attention to pitch. I'm paying attention to the rhythm of it. The next step is to try to do it in time. And what I like to do is do it in time, either clapping. Actually, I have some claves here. I don't know that this headset is going to pick it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this on the 2 and the 4 and articulate what I was doing in time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Da ba doodle a dee ba doo bop, dwee ba doop, ba dee ba doo ba doo ba dee ba doo bop, dwee doo ba dee bop, beep bop boo ba doo ba deep, boom bop ba doo ba dee bop. Faster. Doo ba doodle a dee ba doo bop, dwee ba doop, ba dee ba doo ba dee ba doo bop. Dwee doo ba dee bop, beep bop, boo ba doo bee ba doo dee bop. Dwee doo ba dee bop, ba dee ba doop, bee ba doo boop. Dwee bop, bee ba doo boop, ba doodle doo boop. Dwee doo ba dee boo doop, ba doodle dee ba doo bop. Dwee ba doop, ba dee ba doo bop. Dwee doo ba dee bop, beep bop, boo ba doo bee ba doo bop. Okay. Obviously, I was doing a lot of different rhythms there, and that was a little bit sloppy, but you get the idea. It also works if you go ahead and then do it with a metronome. So if you turn on a metronome, you put it on the 2 and the 4, and you start articulating something like this so that you get it in your breath, you get it in your voice. You know, a couple of points about that. One is, I really think horn players have an advantage over us because their sense of swing goes directly from their brain to their breath and their voice. It's a much more direct connection than it flowing out your fingers and us doing it this way. So I think, you know, as keyboard players, if we can get it in our chest, it flows out through your hands a lot easier. The other thing that I forgot to mention, on the quarter notes, I do the beep, bop, boop sort of thing, and you notice there's a P sound on the end of those, and that's really as a cue that with jazz, the let up when you raise your finger from a note is part of the rhythm. It's very different than the legato that you get with classical, okay? Whereas with this, it's okay, that kind of stuff where you're raising the note and it gives you a sense of propelling the rhythm forward. It's the difference between with classical, the piano is used more as a lyrical instrument, whereas in jazz it's used more as a percussive instrument. In fact, in doing this, if you listen to the quarter notes, you'll hear the let up, which again is part of the rhythmic signature. Doo ba doodle dee ba doo bop, dwee ba doop, ba dee ba dee ba doo ba dee ba doo bop, beep boo ba dee bop, beep bop boo. You hear it there, beep bop boo. Hear how that let up is part of the rhythm. But I digress. Getting back to vocalizing. First step, do it out of time, no accompaniment. Second, click on or clap on the 2 and the 4 and get the vocalizing in your system with a rhythm. Thirdly, do it to a metronome, okay? So let me say something about how to count in with this metronome, doing on the 2 and 4. First of all, I have my metronome set at 62 beats per minute. I'm actually singing at 124 beats. The 62 is 1/2 of 124, and I'm going to start counting in on the 2 so that we go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Do ba doodle a dee ba doo bop, dwee ba doop, ba dee ba doo ba dee ba doo ba dee bop, dwee ba ba dee bop, beep bop boo ba doo ba deep, boop bop ba doo ba dee ba doo bop. Okay. So my reason for doing that is to just kind of kick the can down the road in terms of being able to get a sense of external timing, the metronome on the 2 and the 4, with what you're doing with your voice and your breath. Okay? The next step, once you've got that, is to start playing anthropology, or whatever tune you're working on, while articulating and doing it out of time. Okay? So 1, before we did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and at least I did. And this time I'm going to do the dabba 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 thing, playing very slowly. I like doing it in locked octaves because that way you get a sense of swing in your left hand. So it's not just all about that kind of stuff. Okay, so do-ba-doodle-a-dee-ba-doo-bop, dee-ba-doop, ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-doo-bop. Okay, and then you go faster as you can. Do-ba-ba-dee-bop, beep-bop, boop-ba-doo-ba-deep, boop-bop, ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-doo-bop, ba-doo-ba-doodle-a-dee-ba-doo-bop, dee-ba-doop, ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-doo-bop, dee-doo-ba-dee-bop, beep-bop, boop-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba, do-ba-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-dee-bop, ba-dee-ba-doo-dee-ba-doo-boop, deep-bop, bee-ba-doo-bop, ba-doo-ba-doo-bop, dee-doo-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-doo, ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-bop, dee-ba-doop, ba-dee-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-doo-bop, dee-doo-ba-dee-bop, beep-bop, boop, ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-beep, ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-doo-bop. Okay? So you're basically letting your fingers follow what you're doing in your voice. Okay, the fingers are following, they are not leading.